not in my house.
We've got prints and we've got awesome shirts, along with pillows, beach towels, and more. All available at the Underdog store. Get yourself some awesome merch today. Every purchase helps support the channel and you look awesome while doing it. How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and our girl Jade has been at a lot more tournaments lately. And I know, a lot of people hate Jade because of her zoning, but here's the thing, her zoning hasn't actually gotten better. Instead, it's actually her up close game that has improved. And that's a good thing because maybe if she's stronger up close, the players won't want to run away and throw stuff as much. Or at least that's what I'm hoping, so fingers crossed, and without any further ado, let's break down why Jade has gotten stronger. So this move right here on screen is what's seeing so much more tournament play, Delia's Dance, or as Destroyer calls it, Delilah's Dance. Now I know this move doesn't seem like much at first, it's only 2 hits and by itself not very much damage, only about 78. And that's why at a casual level I don't see many players wanting to use this, but trust me, this attack is much more than meets the eye. Essentially what makes this move so powerful is what it's like on block. So if you amplify, check this out, -7, and look at all that pushback. At maximum range, this thing pretty much resets the neutral completely. And remember how Johnny Cage had a move just like that and NetherRealm thought, no, it's too strong, let's nerf it? Well, surprise, Jade has it instead, and it's very strong. Because not only is it completely safe, but you can wait to see if it's blocked and then choose to amplify, and since it hits low, that gives Jade some 50-50s. So for example, this string right here, mid overhead, well, now it's mid low, and if it's blocked, just spin the bar, you're completely safe. Or how about this string right here, ends in an overhead, well, now it ends in a low. Once again, a 50-50, if it's blocked, just spin the bar, you're completely safe, and you reset the neutral. And in fact, not only is it safe, but the chip damage ain't half bad either. Look at all that chip damage. They block a couple of strings from you, look at that, they've already taken like 15% just from block damage. That's kinda nuts. And for online play, this move has a bit of a secret meta. If you keep amplifying it on block, the opponent's gonna start expecting that, and then you can just not amplify it, and by the time they realize that, they're not going to be able to punish you. It's going to be too late and you're already blocking. So if any of you Jade players are watching, that's the game plan. You want to start off by amplifying it all the time just to keep yourself safe, but then after a while you can just choose not to amplify it and see what the opponent does. If they don't punish you, then keep mixing it up. You still want to amplify it most of the time just to be safe, but every now and then you could choose not to and they might not punish you. And for anyone who doesn't play Jade, keep in mind she doesn't need meter for pretty much anything. Her combos are started meterless. Or in other words, there's always extra meter lying around for you to use on Delia's Dance and keep yourself safe just in case the opponent blocks you. And I'm still not done talking about this move because on hit it's also really good. It might not seem like it at first because once again, only 78 damage. That's not that great. But this time keep your eyes on the bottom left corner of the screen. Look at that hit advantage. We are +8 on hit. That's really good because Jade has an 11 frame mid, or in other words, if you time things correctly, you are plus every single time and they have to block it. And most of the time I don't recommend spending the bar on hit, but if you want to, you're getting some okay damage. It's not great, but keep in mind the opponent can't break away from this. And like I mentioned in a past video, any character who can take breakaway off the table is a very strong character in this game. And there's one final thing I wanted to talk about with this move, and it's especially important at the highest level of play. So this move does not have a flawless block gap. So before this string right here, if you wanted to keep yourself safe, it had a gap, and as you can see, it's -10, so that's completely punishable on block. But as you're about to see, Delia's Dance removes that gap completely, so the opponent can't punish you. And it's the same situation right here. Once again, that second hit has a gap, Delia's Dance does not, and that's a big deal, because Jade does have other moves that keep her safe on block, like her pole vault for example. However, that pole vault has a flawless block gap, so the opponent could punish you, and that's not the case with Delia's Dance. And that's why this move is so powerful, especially at the highest level of play. It removes any gaps that Jade normally has in her strings. And the same is also true for her Betrayal string. As you can see, it has a bunch of different gaps. There's a gap, for example, on that second hit, but now not anymore, just goes straight into Delia's Dance. And then once the opponent's used to that, you can do it after the second hit as well and remove the gap there if you so choose. So as you can see, Delia's Dance is just ridiculously good, and that's why every top player that uses Jade has this move in their arsenal. arsenal. And that's about it for Delia's dance, so next up, let's talk about the second ability that nearly every player has at tournaments. And that's the combo ability. Now, I forget the name, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on screen right now. A couple of these strings are honestly very useful, especially that first string, Betrayal. This thing does some pretty decent damage and ends in an overhead, so you know what that means. The final hit is a 50-50. You cancel into Delia's dance and it's now a low instead of an overhead, so a decent 50-50, and even if they block it, you can see that, spin the bar, and you're completely safe. And I know what a lot of you are already thinking. You're saying, Underdog, there's a gap before that second hit, they can interrupt it on block and open me up for a full combo. That's true, but if they go for that, just do Delia's dance right away instead, and once again, if they block it, just spin the bar. Or in other words, you're gonna alternate between both. Sometimes do the full string and then amplify to keep yourself safe, or do the first hit alone, then go for Delia's dance, and once again, if they block, you can spin the bar. As long as you mix things up between the two, the opponent's gonna be too scared to interrupt that second hit. And also don't forget, it's okay to sometimes let the entire string rock because that final overhead is completely safe on block at -2, so it's still a good mix-up and it's completely safe. And next up we have Bending Time. Once again, a pretty good string. The final hit, not so much, but the first three can be a damaging way to end combos, especially at a more casual level. So for example, this string right here. A lot of players will do this to end their combo, and it's about 240. Well, instead, let's do Bending Time, and we're getting 254, so as you can see, a bit of a damage buff. And one quick word of warning, that final hit of the string is unsafe on block, so instead just end with Delia's dance and you'll be completely safe. And then we have All Too Easy. I'll be honest, I don't find this string super useful, but it is very, very plus on hits, so look at that, plus 29. That's not terrible. So it might not have the best damage, and it's also not the best to combo into, but it is very good on hit. And then last but not least, it's also completely safe on block at -7, so not too shabby. And there's actually one more move that improves with this custom ability, and it's Jade's Sweep. So now it hits 2 times, and the second hit has a really good amount of range. It's got deceptively good reach. And then on top of that, look at all the pushback, and it's -8, so this might be completely safe on block. Let me know in the comment section down below if anybody can punish this, but -8 with all that pushback, it seems safe most of the time. Or at the very least, it's safe against the majority of the characters. And of course, since it does hit twice, that also means it does more damage than her regular sweep, and in fact, it might be the most damaging sweep in the entire game. Look at that, 96, not too bad. And then for the final ability I see everybody rocking at tournaments, we have the Air Razorang. So this move is good for a very obvious and very annoying reason. It's got a really good angle, it's fantastic for zoning, Jade stays in the air, so she pretty much avoids every projectile on screen, and then on top of all of that, for whatever reason, it's also plus on block. So not just safe, we're talking completely plus on block. You're at advantage when the opponent blocks this thing, which is ridiculous, but it's always been that way and they never nerfed it. So in terms of zoning, this move is god tier. It's one of the best projectiles in the entire game, so if you do want to run away and just throw stuff, it's good to have this move in your arsenal. And don't forget, it also extends corner combos as well. A lot of people don't talk about that, but it's also great for extending combos in the corner. So it's not always a zoning tool, it can also be a great way to get some extra damage, especially in the corner. However, if you want the best combos, then I actually recommend Upward Razorang. It's also a pretty decent zoning tool as well, but combos are the best thing about this move. You all know that I have a soft spot for combos, so whenever I play Jade, this is the third custom ability I have equipped. Because just look at this combo right here. Not only is it more damaging than every combo so far, but it's also a bit easier thanks to the Upward Razorang. The timing is honestly just easier on the follow-ups. And it's the same in the corner, by the way. The combos just get easier, and once again, the damage is still really good, especially for 1 bar. So while Jade might not be the best at zoning in the game, I'd like to see any other zoner like Cetrion get this kind of damage, I'm just saying. And like I mentioned earlier, this move can also be decent for zoning as well. Check this out, it covers full screen and it hits mid, so that's not half bad. And look at the second one, it has an even better angle. So from full screen, Upward Razorang is still a great zoning tool, so if you want to play keep away, it's still a great move. And then best of all, it's so much fun to catch people jumping with. Oh, it's so satisfying because you can combo after it since Jade recovers so quickly. Oh my god, so much fun. You don't even have to amplify, but if you want to, you're getting a bit more damage, and you have time to actually dash up, I think, too. So maybe, yeah, look at this, you can get the follow-ups. Man, I love this move. I think Upward Razorang is the way to go. It's just my favorite move. And that's about it for Jade's tournament variation, everybody. As you can see, Delia's dance is definitely the star of the show. It can keep you safe on block every single time, and it's also +8 on hit as well. And then for the cherry on top, it has no flawless block gaps, so just a very good move. move. And normally right now is when I would cover the other custom abilities, but she's actually had access to every single one before except for Delia's dance, so we've actually covered every single move on this channel. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really does help the channel out a ton. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a comment too. How do you feel about Jade getting stronger? And finally, make sure to finish that combo by suplexing that subscribe button. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdog.